fuck with him. I see what he's doing. If you had 2% of whatever, maybe you do the same. Some of his actions over recent years will be called into question if he ends up on. That's all I'm saying.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Please like the video and subscribe. Our target is only 1,000 likes. So ESPN personality Stephen Smith is publicly opening the door about running for president a little less than a month after dismissing the idea. The bombastic sports journalist, who currently has a feud with NBA basketball player LeBron James, has been floated by many as a potential White House contender. The calls for Smith to run have come given the populist wave that returned Donald Trump to the office and calls for a shakeup in the Democratic Party. While many may scoff at the idea, it's worth noting that Trump was once in the basement of many Republican primary surveys ahead of his 2016 win. Donald Trump was at 2% in a Texas Politics Project poll.
We also don't have the skilled labor force that would be able to occupy those jobs because guess what? He just shipped them all out of the fucking country.
He didn't do that.
No, that's part of his pitch. His pitch is I'm creating more jobs.
He didn't ship
But
the
with
job.
people who don't have the skills, China just literally made like an ad, and it was all of these, regular Americans sewing bras and sewing like making all of these things that we use for our daily lives. It was basically China saying, you do not have the skilled labor force to occupy the jobs that you say you're bringing back to the country.
I think that's
finally, let's have a real talk about stereotypes. I'll tell you all the Americans that I don't want working for me.
I think that's insulting.
No, that's the insinuation.
We could have the labor force to do anything around the country. The problem is the people that are over here going to make $22 an hour or $17 an hour. So now where's that?
Because we coddle these 10-year-olds and say they can't make sneakers.
Where's that gonna? You're a fool, son.
It's true though. It's true.
No.
He's absolutely right. You're fucking coddling these 10-year-olds.
Exactly.
Put their little asses
work
to
them
work.
little fingers.
Hey, Jordan's got to come from somewhere.
You guys are ridiculous.
That is horrible.
Dog, what's the price of them Jordans going to be? What's the price of them Levi's going to be? What's the price of the iPhone?
I'm just joking,
What's the No, I know. What's the price of the cars? And so that's the shit that we're going to be bitching about. So even if his plan works, what's going to happen because the greedy ass company owners are not going to take less of a profit margin?
No. Dog, right now, today, the new Nintendo Switch was supposed to go up for pre-order.
Yo, that's his shit.
That nigga mad.
What the fuck?
Here's a
Let me
point.
fucking land. There is a point here to what you just said.
I know.
It was supposed to go up for pre-order. Nintendo canceled it for America. You cannot order it because they said, we don't know how much it's going to cost. Due to tariffs, it's not made here. So sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
We not releasing yet. This is that's
why?
just one little piece. Like it's gonna start happening with everything else. I heard Corey was saying earlier. Mercedes said, there's no more cars this year.
I just got an email that said all your little parts, they're going up.
That's happened to me.
They come from overseas, and the companies are not going to take the loss. If he going to charge us X on the tariffs, we going to charge y'all X in the new price.
So we copping Genesises now, nigga. That's American?
No.
Japanese.
What's American? What's the American car?
Nothing.
A Ford.
Couldn't tell you.
A Ford.
Buick.
A Jeep.
Oh, I like Buicks.
You wouldn't drive one?
Cadillac.
I would drive one. I drive Buick. You're crazy.
To the store?
You think I'm some party I'm not.
Today.
And you manipulate the airwaves to paint the picture of that nasty person. I would drive a Buick. And if you hung out with me today, you would know I would drive a Buick.
Buick, Cadillac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Ford.
Yeah.
And I manipulate the airways.
Crazy.
All he does. That's all he does.
That's what he said.
That's all he does. All he does is manipulate the airwaves. That's it.
That's what I do. This guy is a nutcase.
And you can manipulate it if you built it. Shut up, nigga.
This is the one thing I would add.
True. Yeah, I guess. Can't argue with that. Yeah.
Shut up, man.
This is the one thing I'll add to the conversation. I just think empires fall. Every empire in human history has fallen.
We're Rome.
Yeah, we're Rome.
We're Rome right now.
And from 1945 until now, or maybe about 5 years ago, the United States has been the superpower. There was a moment we were the shared superpower toward the end of this empire, but we are in decline. Trump's plans are based on this idea. It's like a rapper that thinks they can make the comeback. You know what I'm saying? Or an athlete that thinks they can make the comeback.
That's a good one.
We can't make this comeback. The nations, the basic nations, Brazil, South Africa, India, China, they're on the rise. We don't have the military power to defeat these nations. We don't have the economic power, and we don't have the diplomatic power because we lost the other two. You can only negotiate when you. So the idea of going to Louis Vuitton with Dick on the table is a great example. It's just China is
I don't see
is the person with the moderately sized penis.
I don't see you
putting it on the table.
I don't see you or anyone else convincing America of those things. I don't think America believes that at all.
They don't.
Whether they believe it or not, but they believe in it based on some egotistical ideal of what the country
Well, that's
is.
part of the
Hey, the
propaganda.
washed up rapper don't think that he washed up.
But you know
the
when
washed up ball player don't think he
But
washed
you know
up.
when they find out? You know when they find out? When they get
get
injured?
back- when they get
When
back
somebody
out
drop
there.
40 on them or when the record don't sell?
Yeah, but in the same example, I like that example. The washed up rapper does have a shot.
Maybe.
He does have a shot.
But then you say,
Sorry.
It's not a good example, but
well, because they're not really washed up then.
We're playing probabilities. No.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about a washed up rapper, and the chances would be even put it at 3%. It's a shot.
Right, but the problem is the difference with washed up rapper is if the other 97 plays out, nobody loses anything.
you playing a 3% probability with the lives of millions and
Right.
millions and millions of people.
There's a 97% chance this is going to end up disastrous.
Come on, fam.
And again, I don't know
Hundreds of millions.
I don't know enough about economics to speak to it intelligently, so I don't try not to talk about things I don't know about. But what I will say is every economist that I've spoken to, and I did an interview on Al Jazeera last week with Richard Wolff, who's one of the leading economists in the world, and he brilliantly laid out, just like these Wharton economists, that this can't work.
Yeah.
So for me, I agree. I think we all saying the same thing. We needed a radical alternative. We need a departure
Just
from the
don't know
status quo.
if
This is just a bad one. It's just a bad one. That's all.
I think or it's just done too abruptly.
I also, not to sound Trumpy again, I also don't want to hear niggas come tell me my idea is bad if ain't nobody else got an idea.
That's not true.
I've heard that before.
I think what happens with him is when a nigga come with an idea that don't coincide with my idea, you got fired.
Yes.
Or, yo, Mr. Trump, I don't think we should be doing it this way. You fired. Fam, he sat and told the Republican niggas in Congress, if y'all don't like Elon Musk, you could get out of here. People got kids to raise and college tuitions to pay and mortgages in high ass DC.
I don't fuck with Elon Musk, boy.
So
if I
I'ma
own
just-
one of them cyber trucks, I would write Toyota on the back like them niggas doing. I would write fucking Buick or some shit.
Dog.
Right on the back.
So that's the point. Like, yo, fam, I'm gonna get along because I got bills to pay. I don't think the Republicans fuck with him.
Here's a stupid question, 5 seconds or less. Where do y'all think humans come from?
Monkeys.
Atoms.
I have no idea.
Humans were created. I always say that.
By another species.
We got atoms, we got monkeys, we got a different something.
Something created us.
Hybrid.
Like the sea monkey shit they used to have back for the kids and shit. We were an experiment and then left.
Ish flip.
Listen, I don't believe it.
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We've been talking all this political shit. Stephen A. Smith announced yesterday on his Twitter that he is now open to running for president. That previously he said it was off the table, but now he, after looking at the country and the state that it's in, and after looking at the lack of candidates, the lack of a bench that Joe talked about, that he is considering a run for president and that he'll let us know in 2026, 2027 to be sure.
In 2027, I'm gonna let you know how the public looks at all that Max Kellerman shit in hindsight.
Trumpish.
That's all I have on the matter.
Trumpish.
I don't have nothing else on the matter. I'm not saying nothing else on the matter. Stephen A. is a friend of the show.
Same.
I fuck with him. I see what he's doing. If you had 2% of whatever, maybe you do the same. Some of his actions over recent years will be called into question if he ends up on. That's all I'm saying.
My advice to him, and I love Stephen A., he's my friend, is you just signed a $100 million deal.
Keep that.
For 5 years. That's $20 million a year. Do not jeopardize the brand. Because once you run for president, half the ESPN audience don't fuck with you. One side or the other. I don't care what you run. Half of them don't fuck with you. And I don't know if you can ever recover that. So unless you're sure you're going to win, and I'm sure he is not.
That's not safe to say.
What?
That you lose half of the ESPN audience.
You will.
You don't know that.
Okay, well, how about
You
that?
don't know that ESPN as a whole is not really covertly a right-wing channel altogether.
It could be.
Oh, you said it could be more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying it could be worse.
Yeah, no,
Wait, he's running as a Democrat. That's the thing. He's going to run as a Democrat. So he's running against MAGA. He's running against J.D. Vance. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying all them NASCAR watching motherfuckers ain't going, they suddenly not going to think that Stephen A. is all right with me. They're going to start saying we don't fuck with him.
Depending on what he says.
And ain't no way to run for president and not say something against them if you run in to win.
I don't know that to be true either, Mark. I don't know that that's true.
I think this.
We just said
he's
that
gonna
the
take a
Democrats
hit.
have had a problem with messaging.
Oh, you said if you run and just don't say shit.
or say something that appeals to all. Or he could get up there on his OJ shit, I don't see color. You don't know what he might say as a black man running.
That's fair. I mean, I would say based on his recent press run, where he's been giving political opinions, but they still think it's cute because he's still mainly talking about basketball. And he could pivot because people pivot when they run for office. That's fair. But if he don't pivot and he stays the track he's on, I don't think it's worth it. I was asked to run for Green Party vice president in 2016, and the reason I didn't
Slow down for a minute.
What?
Just slow down.
My VP looked like me.
He be saying shit so smooth. You got asked to run for Green Party,
nigga.
Green.
Green dot, nigga. That's Green Point. That's Brooklyn, nigga.
I thought that's what he was talking about.
Green Party.
You be my Brooklyn president,
Party,
nigga.
yo.
The Green Party. Jill Stein was at the top of the ticket, and she asked me to be her running mate in 2016. And she called me in July of 2016 and said, "Do you want to run?" And I had the same consideration. I mean, obviously, I wasn't gonna win, but I had the same considerations. Like, assuming I don't win, what's at stake?
Are you single in 2016?
What hour is this in the show?
Three.
Oh yeah, I was single enough. Yeah, I was outside.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
But here's what I thought. I thought a couple of things. One, if Donald Trump loses, that's not true. My first thought was financial. When you run for president, you have to leave all your journalism jobs. You cannot have a journalism job and run for political office. So they let you out of your contract to do it. Now, if they fuck with you, because this happens on CNN all the time, all those political commentators that run for Senate, CNN lets them out of their contract, or MSNBC or whoever. They let you out of the contract, and then once your run is over, they just give you a new deal. But if they don't like you, they use that as the out clause and don't give you the new deal. They don't have to give you a new deal because that's in all the clauses. Stephen A. would be banking that after his run is over, that ESPN will welcome him back with another deal. And they might. And I'm speculating on his deal. He could have a very unique deal, but this is 99% of deals. But if you say the wrong thing on that trail, or something gets exposed, or this, all these stories come up from the past, I'm not talking about personal stuff, I'm talking about professional stuff, you might be in a worse negotiating position.
Dice.
Yeah, you could be worth $200 million.
I'm on the other side of that.
Or you could be worth...
I think this is the beginning of Stephen A. kissing ESPN goodbye as a whole altogether. I think that he may have learned some things during this negotiation process that left him a little peeved. I don't really know that 20 million number is a number that he was happy with. And if you do this presidential shit, win, lose, or draw, what comes from that, the numbers that these niggas get on the book tip, on the speaking tip, I don't think he's looking at 20 million a year ever again. Peace.
That might be true.
I think this will be the proper propelling of his independent career.
If it goes well.
And now I have a podcast. I don't want to tell you about the money that the Obamas have gotten in podcast world without releasing a thing.
That's
And
true.
you did say
they also won.
And look,
That's a two-part thing.
you did say also if you're a journalist, they let you out your contracts, right?
Yeah. They force you out of your contract.
You can have an out.
Who says it's not consistent? Ish.
The Obamas got multiple podcast bags.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They got huge podcasts.
I know they got the one big one.
No, they got multiple big ones, not just one.
Okay.
Yeah. They got, they getting crazy.
Yeah, they
right
got some different shit.
But again, shit worked out
When
well.
is there going to be a time when Michelle or Barack can't walk into office and say, "I'm demanding 8 figures to talk"?
Yeah, X.
There's not going to be a time where that don't happen.
Fam, you could go do a commencement speech for a university and get 7 figures.
Yeah, but that's because they won. We wouldn't say that about Howard Dean. We wouldn't say that about John Edwards.
You're right.
I mean, there's a lot of people who there was a moment where they were the shit.
John Edwards is rich though. But
yeah, but he can't get a speech
That's true.
at Kings, in front of Kings, right? Like, there's a way that you just can't. I wouldn't risk it if I were him. And then the other thing is, how does your core audience feel about you? The reason I didn't go on the VP ticket was, if Trump wins, and I thought Hillary Clinton was going to win.
I did too.
But I said, if Trump wins, and we're the spoiler, black people are going to hate me.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just saying, if JD Vance wins, or if the wrong person wins, and he's part of a ticket that took away votes, people are going to resent the shit out of people. People hate tweet me every day for just voting green. right? They send Jill Stein death threats for being the candidate. I'm just saying, Stephen A. has managed to make a wonderful brand. There's no one like him. He's the best at what he does ever. I don't know. It just seems like too much of a risk with too little of a reward.
All right. Yeah, we did it, y'all. That was a real good. We killed it. We killed that shit. And I let it rock. I didn't step on it. We did our mature thing. Tariffs, president. We did it, right?
We did it.